Welcome to. Oh, I guess there's a weird thing called turning the volume on, right? You know what? Engineers goofs here. Welcome to Over the Top Rope Live here, live from Beercade YEG in Edmonton, 105th Street and 82nd Avenue. We're covering Money in the Bank Live. I am your special fill-in host here, Mike Malowany, the newest member of the Wincom Sports Network, and I'm joined by the holder of the most prestigious heavyweight title in all of Alberta, merely for the fact it gets defended every single week. Chris Parrish, the PPW heavyweight champion.
Hi, people. Guess what? The Sharks are losing. I am happy. My mic is Blues colors. Ha! Screw you, San Jose.
Hey, speaking of which, I got blue here, so I guess we're matching here on this case. We might be joined by some others. We don't know what's going on here, but just remember, folks, we are on Facebook Live right now, as well as the Backbreaker Media YouTube and Twitch channels are both up and running. And, of course, the Wincom Sports Network, Facebook Live. Things are going great here, so as we're getting notes coming in. Oh, and a shout-out from Spencer, who got occupied in some state. I got to fix one little thing here.
If he's not drinking, I'll be very, very disappointed in you, Spencer. So if you're not drinking, shame. Shame on you. But yeah, we're here at Beercade. Come check us out. Come downtown. Come down to White Ave, and we will definitely have a beer together. We will definitely watch Money in the Bank together because it is shaping up to be a solid card.
Absolutely. And don't forget, if you guys come out tonight, it is Barnaval this weekend, the long weekend, and there are free games all day long here at Beercade. I'm eyeing up that basketball game. I just hit a 250 here earlier in the week, so I might have to see if I can pass that if my arms don't fall off.
Well, I know how good you are with balls, so I have faith in you.
Yeah, of course. We're coming back to the main picture here, looking like this. So, but I gotta say, going into this pay-per-view, it's going to be one of those. Let's just face it. Raw and SmackDown have been absolute crap over the last few weeks.
Yeah,
but this is shaping up to be a hell of a card.
That's because the matchups are what people want to see. The stories are what people don't want to see right now, and that is what WWE is failing to do on a platform that is 3-hour Monday Night Raw and a 2-hour SmackDown Live. The stories suck, but the matchups are still what we want to see. Just take Seth Rollins against AJ Styles, which that is a matchup everybody wants to see right now.
Well, you know what? Let's get right into it right now because we got the matchup set up here. Let's just take that out of there. Oh, we don't want that match. Jesus. There we go. There's the match we want to see.
You don't want to get that one out of the way?
We got the Universal Heavyweight Championship on the line with AJ Styles challenging Seth Rollins. Parrish, what are your thoughts about this match, especially the stand-up setup that they've been having here going into this matchup?
Well, somebody had to kind of throw the first stone, and I think AJ Styles was a perfect choice for it because I think AJ Styles, when push comes to shove, will show that he will always go for the throat, whereas Seth Rollins, lately, he's more your typical, I'm going to win it for the people kind of a thing. He's your fighting champion. So I think it's no surprise that we saw AJ Styles sucker punch Seth Rollins first, which I have no problem with because I think in a baby match, you need that guy to play kind of that heel lead in the match regardless. And I think AJ is the perfect guy for that.
Well, either way, you know both of these guys can put on a fantastic matchup here. And it coming so soon into Rollins' title reign here, what is it, maybe a month? Just over a month?
Yeah, I think it's been 40 days because he won the title, one day before Matt Taven won the Ring of Honor Championship. Shout out to Matt Taven, by the way.
Shout out to Matt Taven, hell of a wrestler.
Yep.
Out here a couple weeks ago here with RCW. But well, let's go with predictions here. Who do you think you got in this matchup?
Well, we were talking earlier about the possibility that Brock Lesnar could be interfering in this match to set up for some at Superstar Showdown. That's probably going to be the reality of this because WWE never gives the fans what they truly want. And I think the fans here just want a true match, a true main event match like they wanted with AJ and Nakamura at WrestleMania years back. I personally do believe Seth Rollins is going to retain this title, but man, I would love to see AJ Styles turn full-blown heel with the help of Gallows and Anderson and take that title.
Eventually, I'd love to see that faction come together. I just don't know whether WWE is actually going to put it together to actually let us see that. That's the part that it makes it rough for me.
Well, then what sucks too is they have this opportunity now that they could have done a possible club versus Shield approach, but now they probably won't pull the plug on turning AJ heel, and they totally lost Dean Ambrose as he is no longer with the company.
Touche on that. Well, let's move on to our next matchup here. And speaking of things getting shoved down our throats or not, our next matchup here is Roman Reigns taking on Elias.
Oh, I really thought you were going to go with Charlotte.
We'll get to her later on here, because we got a lot of thoughts on that matchup. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When it comes to this match, it's basically you're trying to pull Austin 2.0 at this point, where Reigns is going out after Vince McMahon, but he's like a 3,000-year-old man, so he can't really keep up with everything. So enter Elias.
Are you trying to say a 70-something-year-old man doesn't have it anymore?
I'm not going to comment overly more than that, folks, but...
Oh, I am. He doesn't have it anymore.
Parrish, your thoughts?
See, this match kind of is interesting in a way because I think it always depends on, or this match totally depends on if it goes before Miz and Shane McMahon. And if it does, I 100% see Shane McMahon getting involved and costing Roman Reigns the win, because I can see Elias just getting absolutely shot to the moon with a win over Roman Reigns. And at this point, I don't think a loss to Elias does anything negative for Roman Reigns. So I think the most logical thing is to have Shane McMahon cost Roman Reigns the match. Therefore, he would then go on to lose his cage match, and that's his next attention now.
Absolutely. I have to agree with you completely there. There's just something missing here with this stupid wild card thing that's going on. I can't keep track of who's going where and whatnot. I thought Shane was supposed to... This is a SmackDown matchup, but I'm seeing Shane on Raw all the time here right now. But he's got to get back... We got to get back to basics here, and I think the best way to do it is to set up a Shane versus Roman matchup.
Simple storytelling here goes a long way. And I think these two can have a great match, but if you got to finish where it's very much like maybe Shane McMahon screwing, who was it with the 1-2? Oh, Steve Austin.
Steve Austin, yeah.
Something like that, I think, would do amazing wonders. But at the same time, I kind of want to see a faction start between Shane, Elias, and maybe a couple of other people. I think that would be a great heel faction to have on SmackDown.
We need somewhat of an Authority 3.0, but not to the same extent that we have with.
I mean, I don't even want to see if McMahon's involved in storylines right now.
But if we're going to, Shane's the one we want to see involved. I think would be the best. Makes the most sense.
Well, yeah, because he, unlike his sister, doesn't treat everybody like they're second level beneath.
Yeah, and he'll actually physically get in there a lot more often than
I love Stephanie, but that's the one aspect of her game I do not like.
Here's an interesting fact for you. Shane McMahon has been involved in every single pay-per-view in the year 2019. Yeah. Now just think about that for a second.
I know. And how much is that wrong?
In so many ways. We could count on all the ways that things are crazy here, but you know what?
But if Shane McMahon can give a rub to a guy like Elias, who I believe needs that, because right now he is a mid-card title doesn't do anything for him. He needs those main event feuds, and Roman Reigns is the perfect guy to do it. Shane McMahon is a perfect authority figure to help him get to that elite status, or at least that main event status. It's an interesting concept that they have with this match, so I really hope they do it right.
Elias is very close to being in that position where I got a feeling that he's almost in Rusev territory.
I think he has to drop the guitar.
Possibly.
I think he's getting to that point where everybody wants to see the guitar. I think he's at that point now where he has to maybe think about dropping it.
Yeah, well, he's got to do something here.
He's not going to be a good heel if he continues giving the people what they want. And
absolutely. Well, let's shift gears here from two big men to two of the cruiserweights. With the
should we drift away?
Drift away?
Yeah.
He's got the puns, folks. I'm too busy trying to set this whole thing up.
I also have the beer. Hey.
Don't forget, come down to Beercade on 105 Street and 82nd Avenue here for our Barneville Festival and for 450 beers. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
450 anything, folks. Signature menu, $4. It's a hell of a deal. Make sure you get out.
What do you mean anything?
Eyeballs, beer. I'm not that
Again
cheap.
with the balls, Mike. Come on.
Not that cheap, okay?
Come
folks?
on.
Hey, well, let's move on here to our next matchup. We got Arya Davari taking on Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight Championship. Now, Tony Nese shockingly won the Cruiserweight title at WrestleMania.
Universally called by this panel, by the way, at WrestleMania.
Shock to everybody except for these three guys.
Just because we did not want it, but we expected WWE to do it.
Yeah, well, that sounds about normal for WWE in this case. But what do you think about Arya Davari as a credible opponent for Tony Nese?
I think he's a total credible opponent because I think Tony Nese, as a Cruiserweight champion, as much as I like his work and respect him as a worker, I just don't think he's a credible champion. He might have the most forgettable reign as Cruiserweight champion since Cedric Alexander.
No.
And he held the title forever, and nobody cared. And I don't think anybody cares. When Buddy Murphy held the title, people cared. When Neville held the title, people cared. Hell, when Rich Swann held the title, people cared. And even when Tozawa held the title, at least the Japanese cared. But I think right now they're missing the boat on who should be the top guy on 205 Live, and I don't think it's either one of these two. But I hope to God they go out there and they lay it on the line and they open up the eyes and they prove to people that they deserve to be on this spot, because I think that's the exact type of match they need to see. Tony Nese wins because I don't see the point of a title switch, even though at this point I don't care.
Yeah. To be honest, I really look forward to seeing a lot of these cruiserweights because I have seen them on the independent scene prior to coming in here. But at the same time, this matchup really doesn't take the boat for me here.
I do have an idea that popped in my head just now that I think could actually work, because we just saw the Singh brothers on 205 Live, correct?
Yep.
This could be a potential way of the Singh brothers helping Davari win the Cruiserweight Championship, and now you have a heel stable, and instead of them being with Jinder, they can be with Davari, and it could work because they're actual legit cruiserweights themselves.
That actually is a really good idea. I would like to see something like that happen here. Personally, I don't see Nese losing the title, mainly because there's no real advantage to having Davari win it except for what's going on here in just over a week's time with Super Showdown.
But that's also a thing. They're going into that area where, Davari is a little bit more familiar.
Popular?
Yeah. So would it be necessarily a wrong thing, unless this could be a thing to set up a rematch for Davari to win there, because we always know WWE is very famous for having foreigners win titles when they're down there, i.e. Buddy Murphy when he was in Australia.
Touche. So there's a few different ways we could think about that there. So, but let's move on to our next match, and let's get a little closer, as our next two opponents are going to be getting very close because they're going to be confined in a steel cage. We got The Miz and Shane McMahon. Now, this match here stems all the way back to WrestleMania, and even before that with them forming a tag team. And I don't know if anybody noticed on the indie scene yesterday, came up on Twitter, the Miz's dad ended up helping out Sami Callihan in an 8IW show in Chicago. So he's even getting in the business right now.
Oh, how have we lucked out with, even though I might end up becoming, by the end of the day, Facebook friends with his dad, just because I think it's funny. There's no way he should be involved in anything.
All right, well, that's another topic we can get in another day here.
What are we going to set up for? Vince McMahon against Mrs. Dad at WrestleMania?
You never know.
No! The answer is just fuck no! I'm cursing, because no! Let's protect the business!
It's all right. It's Spencer's show. It's not PG. It's all good. But this one
It
here,
is PG. It's parish guaranteed.
Okay, on that note.
Well, we're talking about Mrs. Dad. So if I'm going to... Yeah, I might as well order 2 more beers now.
Just talking about the Mrs. Dad, and I guess we're going there, folks.
I'm ordering beers on the show now.
Great service, guaranteed here at Beercade. Don't forget that.
Yep.
But the dynamic of this match has completely changed from WrestleMania. WrestleMania, you got the Falls Count Anywhere at...
Which actually was really good. Let's I'll give them credit where credit's due.
You'd expect a bit of a clunker from Shane. You definitely didn't get that at Mania. But now they're switching up to a steel cage. What do you think the difference in dynamic is going to create in this kind of matchup?
I don't think it's going to create anything. I think the B team's going to get involved in this match. They're going to do what they can to help Shane win. I wouldn't be surprised in 2 factors here. 1, Shane jumps off something. 2, I wouldn't be surprised to see the B team either help Shane or turn on Shane. Because the history they have with The Miz, I do believe The Miz is going to win this match, and that's going to be to steal something from Balor, the coup de grace to this feud. But I think both guys need to move on, and I think The Miz probably is better off working with somebody that can beat him up so he's more credible as a babyface and get sympathy, because as an ass kicker, I'm just not there yet with The Miz.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Shane needs to win this one. Just get it over and done with. And as we spoke earlier, Shane needs to move on and start dealing with Reigns, in a better opinion, in our thoughts. So,
unless Roman Reigns costs Shane McMahon this win.
Yeah, fair
Because we have seen Miz and Roman Reigns team up.
It all depends on the order of booking in this card too, right? So,
I mean, McMahon's is involved. Throw logical booking out the window.
Amen. And with that prophetic statement, I think we're going to take a quick time out here. Just remember, folks, we're down at Beercade, 105 Street.
Spencer would call this time out a pee break.
Well, I don't think either one of us are going for a pee because this is only a 30-second break here. So I'm just checking out, seeing if there's any comments. I'm going to go check out the chat room, see if there's anything going on. We're going to be back in about 30 seconds with our second half of this show. But first, a word from our friends at Powerslam.tv.
Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 3,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 100 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv. Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 3,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 100 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at powerslam.tv.
Shirt.
You and your Bryce Harper stuff. Oh, we're back.
He hit a home run and won the game today.
All right, fine, good enough. Welcome back once again to Over the Top Rope Live here at Beercade YEG, 105th Street and 82nd Avenue. Joined by the most dominant champion in Alberta wrestling right now, Chris Parrish.
No. Just the...
Well, you defend the title more than anybody else.
Well, I mean, that's because a lot of champions in Alberta don't go to shows now. But with that being said, I like to drink beer, so I don't like to work out, so I am the drunkest, not fittest,
Fair enough.
most active champion in Alberta.
Well, looks like we got a little bit of championship time here to go through right now. Let's go to the WWE Championship with Kofi Kingston taking on Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Now, this one took a little interesting turn with the addition of Sami Zayn into the matchup last Tuesday.
Okay, so you want to hear something ironic? So Mike and I, on our last episode of Sounds of Struggle,
On the I almost said the words, on the Wincom Sports Network, of course.
yeah, we kind of came up with an idea of doing a 32-man tag team tournament to see who the best tag team in wrestling is. But like the thing is, they all have to be WWE based, all have to be active, and you can't use the same guy twice. And ironically enough, we had Zayn and KO in there, and we also had the New Day. And in my bracket, I kind of had them face off because I ranked them by tag team, like the numbers 1 to 32, and ironically, I had them facing off. So I thought that was just ironic with the given storyline that we're seeing right now. But I would love to see this match after the men's Money in the Bank and have Sami Zayn win Money in the Bank, have Kevin Owens win the WWE title, and have Sami Zayn cash in on Kevin Owens after he ironically helped Kevin Owens win the title. That won't happen.
No,
I also kind of want to see Xavier Woods turn on Kofi. Also won't happen. I'm going to predict Kofi Kingston wins. And yeah, that's my match prediction in a T right there.
You know what? He summed up pretty much everything in my books here. It's too short of a reign for Kofi Kingston. There's too much outcry of how good he is and how everybody thinks he should be. Personally, I think Kofi's going to get over somehow here. I think Sami might actually cost Owens the match.
Can I say something that actually a lot of people might think is, oh, how dare you? Or are you kidding me? Kofi Kingston is on the same level as Chris Benoit in terms of in-ring performer.
I'm one of the people that agree with you on that one.
Because as Chris Benoit, as amazing as a technical wrestler he was, had very little charisma. Kofi Kingston is as good as Benoit was in the ring, charismatic-wise. And his in-ring work might actually be better than what Benoit's charismatic attribute is.
I could agree with that.
So with that being said, he is on the Benoit level. Also, one title reign in WWE. So, with the WrestleMania moment, just going to put that out there. I think Kofi Kingston is very underrated. However, I'm still having a hard time believe that he is the best on SmackDown Live.
You know, I would agree with you.
I'm having a hard time with him being the best in the match that he has tonight.
Absolutely. I would agree with you on that one. This, if you break it down to its purest sense, could involve two people that Vince McMahon pretty much didn't care for.
Yep.
Doesn't care for Owens' physique. He doesn't care for Kofi. Well, I don't want to play the race
Because
card
he's
tonight.
black.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yep.
But tonight,
Trying to get those, oh my God, views.
thanks, Parrish. All things can be directed directly to @ChrisParrish on Twitter.
At Chris Parrish.
But
Give me hate. I don't care. Just follow me.
personally, I think that this match here, we're going to end up with Kofi getting the victory. I think that Owens is going to have something slip up at the last second, whether it's Zayn or something else. But either way, I think Kofi goes into Super Showdown to show the multicultural diversity of WWE.
Yeah. Because that's the guy. Well, isn't WWE also going to Ghana?
I think they're going on a tour soon there. I'm not sure.
That is the main reason why I think Kofi Kingston keeps the title. Has nothing to do with them going back to Saudi Arabia. It's them going into Ghana, and I think Kofi Kingston as WWE champion is a big deal for them. That's exactly why Kofi Kingston retains the title tonight.
Fair enough. Well, from there, you want to go into your stereotypes and your question about booking. Let's go to our U.S. title matchup here with Samoa Joe defending against Rey Mysterio. Now, right now, you got Dominic slowly starting to get involved in the scene here for being a WWE superstar. Just recently, not even 3 months ago, he's up here in Calgary taking Lance Storm's school. Saw him at a couple RCW shows, personally, backstage.
It's before my time.
Not much for his time, but, either way.
I'm not that young.
You got Dominic
I'm a lot
starting to
older
get
than
involved,
people think I am.
But you have the rematch from the 1 minute pass out at WrestleMania.
Which
Your thoughts?
I still think Rey Mysterio was slightly cleared for. I don't think he was completely cleared for it.
I think that was just a make-up time match, personally.
And you also saw Samoa Joe pissed off on his entrance because I think it was you who said they had to cut time.
Yeah, it looked like the Triple H Batista match went a little longer than expected, along with a few other matches there.
Yeah, isn't it ironic that guys past their prime are taking away time from guys in their prime, even though we're talking about, a 42, 43-year-old Mysterio who's still killing it, by the way.
Absolutely.
Not just the greatest luchador of all time, the greatest little guy in all time.
Cruiserweight.
The guy is one of the greatest of all time, flat out. I was there live when he won the world title for the first time in Chicago. That guy's a true inspiration to small wrestlers worldwide.
All right, well, who's your prediction in this matchup here?
Samoa Joe. Because I think at this point right now, Samoa Joe is destined for a dominant title run in WWE. This is his first title on the main roster, and I think it just makes sense. He's the perfect guy to bring credibility back to the U.S. title, and I honestly do believe he will challenge Seth Rollins with credibility over the U.S. and Universal title reign if they give Samoa Joe that platform, because he is that great of a worker.
Oh, I agree. I think he's a hell of a worker, and I think that he should be in the WWE and Universal title picture more than the U.S. title.
I also just don't want to see him follow Eddie Guerrero and Dominic's storylines. This is kind of disturbing to me.
To be honest, I think that's where we're headed.
I know.
And I think Mysterio wins it tonight.
Unless Dominic turns on Ray. Yeah.
Oh, if we could get that going
I'm going
on.
to say something like that now. Because it's... That way, if it happens, I called it.
Well, you'll hear it first on the Windcalm Sports Network. I got a feeling that might very well... I don't know if that'll happen, but I'd love to see it, personally. Well, let's
Fucking Dominic.
Let's move on here to our SmackDown Tag Team Championship match with the Usos getting the first crack at the new champions.
Is it actually for the titles? Because I heard it was actually non-title at one point. So I have no idea if it's actually for the titles anymore.
You
now.
know what? Either way, It's going to be a hell of a matchup.
How badly did WWE realize, oh yeah, SmackDown has no tag teams, knowing they had to put a thrown together tag team as its champion and have a Raw tag team now. A team they put on Raw who took away from a feud with the Revival. Instead of having Revival and Usos here, they decided to put the Usos in a match with Daniel Bryan and Rowan for, or may not before, the SmackDown tag titles. These SmackDown tag titles are absolutely atrocious now in terms of how they're handled. My idea with unified tag champs, I could not be on that bandwagon anymore now.
Absolutely. Like, what? You don't have anybody left because the only other decent tag team is now broken up into singles competitors with the WWE champion as part of one of those tag teams.
I mean, at least give the Ascension or the Colognes or B-Team. Give one of them an opportunity.
Give somebody an opportunity.
Like I love the Usos. Don't even get me wrong. They're the best tag team on the planet.
But you got to give somebody else a chance here once in a while.
Yeah. Usos and Revival. I was about to cream my pants on that match. But now we have this, and it makes no sense.
How about the Good Brothers?
I love them. But they
Anybody.
but the Good Brothers are on Raw now. Everyone's on Raw now. That's why I don't understand this whole concept and what they're doing. I mean, I think better, and I'm literally 2 beers in now. Like, come on. Like, what's your long-term planning? Like, I want to kind of know this. I literally want to be on one of these creative sessions just to be like, what the fuck are you guys thinking?
You know what?
At least I can know then. At least.
We've been around enough to watch enough of the booking that we have an idea what smart booking is, and this ain't it, folks. Let's just call a spade a spade.
And you're not even using Hartford, for God's sakes.
Oh, that's another story for another day. We might be able to do another live stream on that.
The champs win. Revival probably costs Usos the titles if they're on the line or the match.
Champs win just to establish them.
Yeah. Ass Cream may or may not be involved.
Well, we're not sure if that title's being defended, but we do know that the same woman is defending 2 titles tonight, so we got to break both of those down. Which one do you want to do first?
Let's get Charlotte out of the way.
That's what I was thinking, too. Funny how that graphic comes up real quick. For the SmackDown Women's Championship, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, we've seen it 1,000 times. Expect anything different tonight?
Well, I expect them to have a great match. Like, there's nothing going to ever deny their chemistry and their match quality. What's very interesting about this whole thing is that we saw teamwork between Lacey Evans and Charlotte, and how interesting of a concept is that if they helped each other in these matches.
Absolutely. Sorry, just checking out the comments on the Facebook and YouTube pages. Don't forget, we are also on Twitch, the Backbreaker Media Twitch page. We're going to have a lot more stuff coming up on there, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything more that these 2 ladies can do to change things up at all. That's the only thing I'm worried about in this match.
Now, does one of these matches, whether it's Becky Charlotte or Becky Lacey, set up for the other? Because I think it would be a travesty if they would wreck the Becky 2-belt thing so quick. But I think Lacey, out of anyone, is more likely to win a title here.
I'm going to get to my predictions after. Well, here I predict that Becky's going to win both of her matchups here, this one and the next one. But I also do think that there's going to be a cash-in.
Bayley?
No, we'll get to that when we get to the women. I'll say there's going to be a cash-in, but I don't want to spoil who I think it's going to be quite yet.
I think if you're going to get a cash-in, SmackDown makes more sense, because just like the tag division, the women division seems a little weak on SmackDown Live right now.
You mean I think the division's weak on Raw, personally. That they're more each of the wrestlers on Raw is more at their own level, but that level's a lot lower than what you're going to see.
Like, I would love to see at the end of the night if Ember Moon walks away with the SmackDown women's title. 100%. I would love that. However, I just don't think that's going to happen. I think right now the Becky two-belt train is running without an intention to stop. That I do believe she walks out with the title. But in my world, if I was booking, Ember Moon walks out your SmackDown champion for the women, and Lacey Evans walks out as your Raw Women's champion.
I could see that. I think that, personally, I think Becky's going to walk out as the Raw Women's champion. And I'll wait till the winner of the Money in the Bank ladder match is going to be the SmackDown Women's champion by the time we're done.
It all depends on what matches are on first.
From what I'm hearing from .com right now, and a few of the quote-unquote dirt sheets, is the women's is going to go on first. But we know that McMahon can change at any time.
Like, I heard the potential that the men's ladder match is going to close the show, and that Becky Lynch is going to open and then be that ideal popcorn match with the first two matches of the night.
Quite possibly.
And I can flat out see if Becky and Lacey ends in a no contest to keep doing that match, because I think there's money in that feud to where Charlotte gets involved and then she flat out says, let's do this match right here, right now, and we see the second match right then and right now. I don't think there's... If I was a betting man on WWE, Becky Lacey opens the show, no finish, turns into the Becky Charlotte match, and we have Becky going over on Charlotte.
Very well could be in that case. Either way, I expect both of these matches to be a lot better than the hype going into them. That's the best way to put it. I don't, because right now the hype going into the Raw Women's match, it's more of a Twitter fight than it is an actual real fight between these two.
Yeah, but
I'm concerned.
But you have to admit that anytime they get physical in Raw, they're delivering. Lacey Evans might actually be that line in the sand for WWE in the women's division that they wanted. A lot of people question her call-up, but her mic skills are amazing. She actually right now might be the best woman on the microphone in WWE, and right now she is delivering on every single level, and that is a very dangerous quality to have, because you might get things too soon, and I think there's still a lot of development with Lacey Evans. But hey, if she is gonna test the waters that Becky Lynch is on right off the gate, man, there's something with Lacey Evans that makes me want to not turn the channel. And she's also not that bad to look at.
I'll give you that as well. But I think we've wrapped up that match pretty good here. Let's get to these Money in the Bank ladder matches. First, let's go with the women. Now, the biggest story coming into Money in the Bank right now is the fact that Nikki Cross ended up taking the spot of Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Does that factor into who you think is going to win this?
No, because I didn't peg Alexa Bliss to win this match at all. I think Alexa Bliss was actually on the bottom end of the women who I thought were going to win, to be honest. The only person I had lower than her was Dana Brooke. But with that being said, if you want to shock people, Dana Brooke's the way to go. I still, however, am not sold on the fact that Dana Brooke is in this match come match time.
That's where I was talking about earlier when you were I was talking about a little surprise. As much as I hear about all this disgruntlement on the internet when it comes to Sasha Banks and her whole WrestleMania thing, I think she comes in and takes out Dana Brooke, inserts herself into this match, wins the Money in the Bank, and cashes in on Becky for the SmackDown Championship.
See, I kind of thought Bayley might actually turn heel and cash in on Becky.
Either way, my full prediction is one of those two turns heel and wins the title tonight.
Yeah.
Whether it be Bayley, whether it be Sasha, one of those two, and we're going to start setting up the four horsewomen going at each other all summer until the four horsewomen MMA show up to cause a little bit of a kerfluffle, setting up Survivor
You want to know who my money is on, though?
Always.
Okay. WWE booking-wise, the way I would see them doing it could be Sasha, Bailey moving their storylines. What I'd want, Ember Moon. What I'd put my money on, Mandy Rose.
Oh, the golden child. Yeah, I could. You want to make some headlines? That would definitely be one of them.
Yeah.
Then you have that whole Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose faction there causing disturbances, and maybe Sonya, because of her orientation and her openness towards it, might even get an extra push there, just to show how inclusive they are. Sorry, folks, I'm thinking a little too wide here, but...
Well, but at the same time, I think if they want to take this opportunity to actually build that new star, I'm looking down the list. Carmella, okay, she won the first one. Not going to be her just based on that. Naomi, I don't think they have an actual plan for her moving forward. I don't flat out think Raw's going to win it anyway, because I think Raw's going to win the men's, and I think they're going to want to keep these separate. Natty, I'm sorry, not going to be hurt. Bailey, yeah, like there's a curiosity on what they could do. There's a lot they could do with her. I just don't think they'll actually pull the trigger on it. And then we go with Nikki Cross. I think Nikki and Alexa, when Alexa is able to compete, is a very interesting feud in itself. But I don't think there's a title there. Dana Brooke, I think I'm writing her off for the same reason the entire world is writing her off. And then I look at Ember Moon as someone who I personally would want to win, but she's never given that chance. I can see why they don't want to give her that chance now. Mandy Rose has been given opportunities right now. They seem high on her. That's why I would put money on her, because I also think people would react the most on Mandy Rose.
Now,
because even if Dana Brooke won, I don't think people would care, and I think you want people to care.
Now, personally, when it comes to me, if I have to pick somebody off of this roster that we have in front of us here, I'm going to go with the person that WWE is going through the gimmick change with, and that's Nikki Cross. For the simple fact that even if Lacey gets the belt, Nikki could come in and be that face that everybody wants to win the championship, that feel-good story, and take it right off Lacey, and you could have that feud throughout the summer, in my opinion at least.
Well, I think that's it. Like, whoever wins this Money in the Bank, it all depends on how long you want them to hold that briefcase for.
Now, typically with WWE, they have one quick one and one that takes a long time to cash in, so...
I think you might actually have one at SummerSlam and one later on.
Very, very well could
but
be.
But then again, your quick one could be the Raw. And I'll get to that later, too.
Yeah, absolutely. As we move on to our last match here in the men's ladder match here, Money in the Bank contract on the line, there are a lot of high flyers, a lot of power men, and a lot of experience here as well. Parrish,
a lot of NXT, by the way, in this match, too.
Yeah, a hell of a bit of NXT involved here.
Yeah, I think Randy Orton's the only one who didn't spend time in NXT.
Yeah, true enough.
And Ali, I guess, as well.
As we have the...
If I'm putting my money, I'm putting my money on Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. You know what? Drew's probably the safest bet in the world in this matchup here. WWE has been trying to find the right way to push him for pretty much a year now. Since he came in.
Was it really that hard? That's what she said, but was it?
Wah, wah.
How'd you get that one in?
But when it comes to McIntyre...
That's what she said.
When it comes to McIntyre here, he's perfectly suited for that heavyweight title picture, but there's no real storyline right now to set him up for a heavyweight title opportunity. He's already lost to Rollins more than once.
Those are the perfect guys to give up Money in the Bank, too, though.
Yeah. Like Corbin, he's going nowhere fast.
Look what they did with The Miz when he won the Money in the Bank. Look what they did with Ken Anderson. Ken Kennedy. CM Punk 2 times. edge.
It's guys that don't necessarily have a feud. It's basically your booking get-out-of-jail-free card. And one of the safest places to put it is on a guy with the skills and the abilities of Drew McIntyre.
And here's the thing what I hate. WWE already announced the Demon Finn Balor defending the Intercontinental title against Andrade for Saudi Arabia.
So you might as well just knock those two out of it.
Exactly. And that is why I hate announcements like that. I understand the selling tickets aspect, but this Rex, tell me why you can't do this tomorrow instead of
You got 2
this
weeks
weekend.
to promote it.
Yeah.
And it isn't like a lot of people are going there just for the fact it's merely in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, what else are you going to do?
Wow.
You're not going to see WWE very often in Saudi Arabia.
Basically, it's one of those, if they announced they were coming to Edmonton, you don't care who's on the card. They're coming to Edmonton.
I care.
Well, we care eventually, but I'm going with you. I'm going with McIntyre on this one. Who would be your dark horse in this match?
I think Ali is 100% the dark horse. I think Ricochet might actually be a dark horse as well. But in a weird way, I kind of think Randy Orton or Baron Corbin are dark horses as well. I personally would love Andrade to win this match.
The one thing I like about this match more than anything, out of the 8 guys, you can honestly see 8 guys winning it.
Yeah. Because I can also look with the argument that I just made about the Demon Balor and Andrade. Yeah, if Andrade doesn't win the Intercontinental title against the Demon, which he probably won't because it's the Demon, he still has that, well, I have the briefcase. I can still become the WWE champion at will. And then he has the mouthpiece of Zelina Vega. So with that being said, he has a second supporter in this match that nobody else does. So to me, he's still a dangerous aspect. I think just Drew McIntyre, on the sole fact that nobody will bat an eye on if he wins it. He won't upset people. Well, if he does, it's just because internet darlings just have too much of a hard-on for others. I said it that way for a reason.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I think Drew McIntyre he checks a lot of boxes off, but I think Andrade also checks a lot off. Those are my Raw SmackDown favorites if I'm going to go there.
Now, myself personally, I think Ricochet's in there to be the Jeff Hardy of this match. But he's just in there to set up some crazy spot that we haven't seen before.
So is Ali, though.
A double 730 I could see out of Ricochet. Just some crazy thing off a 20-foot ladder.
Oh, by the way, we also didn't mention this for the women's. I want to see an eclipse off the ladder.
Yeah. We're going to see a lot of excitement there. And we got Ricochet, Ali. Orton's in there to give out 7 RKOs. We know that already.
What about a 630 into an RKO? I'm calling it now.
Oh, my God. Parrish's pick of the night, and I'd love to see it, folks. But
Yeah.
I think we got everything here. I think we
We
survived.
do. We didn't talk about Sami Zayn, though, in this match, who is the most question mark, I think, of all ladder matches they have tonight.
He's the latest entry, so we didn't get a chance to talk about motivations or anything. So.
Would he not be the most logical guy to put the briefcase on?
Yeah.
I think Sami Zayn benefits the most of all people involved in this match to win. I think it benefits Sami Zayn the greatest long term. And I think right now with what they're doing with him, it's a dangerous, dangerous thing. And I think I would definitely pull the trigger on Sami Zayn if that argument arose.
I could definitely see that too. He says with the microphone's power, he's going to have a lot more power with that briefcase. So,
and if he won the title, he has a hell of a lot more power with the title and a microphone.
They just went with Brian with all that. Now we got to go through Zayn with that? Oy.
Yeah, but there's a difference between the two on the microphone. Right now, Zayn is the hottest act on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That without a doubt is golden, I would say. Well, that looks like that's going to wrap up all the.
And you could
thoughts
take
on-
it to the bank.
I guess we're going to take it to the bank. That's going to wrap up all our thoughts on the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. You got anything else for tonight, sir?
Yeah, if you have nothing to do tonight, come down to Beercade, have some drinks, watch some
Are
wrestling,
you tired of
have
the
a
same
good
old
time.
pro wrestling?
It's a
Then
long
check
weekend.
out the amazing action on
If you're not a Game of
Powerslam.tv,
Thrones guy,
the biggest
come
indie pro
down,
wrestling
because
channel
that's
in the
really
world.
if you're
Get
not
over
watching the Sharks
3,000
collapse,
hours of
which
the
is
best
what they
pro
did
wrestling
tonight,
events
if you're
from
not
over
watching the
100 of the
PGA
biggest
and
names in the industry
Kepka
from over
collapse.
15
If you're not
countries around
watching
the
Games
globe.
of Thrones, you might
Get
as well
your
come to
free trial
Beercade,
today
have some
at
drinks, meet some people, have a
powerslam.tv.
good time.
And there will be some screens up with the Raptors game, I do believe. So,
I forgot about them because it's basketball.
yeah, well.
And I don't want the Bucks to win, so.
Well, also you can remember that tonight it is the long weekend, so it is Barneville at Beercade. So all the machines are set for free here. So $4.50 everything, free games all night. I don't know if you can ask for anything else.
Quick, go play your basketball game.
Yeah. Wait, what am I doing? Got this stupid face on here. What's going on? Ah, there we are. There we go. So we're going to wrap this up here, folks. I want to thank everybody for checking out the new setup. Send us some feedback. Let us know what you think here. Remember, we're on the Facebook Live for Wincombe Sports, as well as the YouTube for Backbreaker Media and Twitch Backbreaker Media. We're going to have a lot more stuff coming up here. Now that I'm the newest member of Wincombe Sports, we're going to get a little bit more involved in the visual media as well. Chris Parrish, anything to wrap up?
You're getting involved in the visual aspect?
Well, I'm not taking my shirt off, okay? Just be thankful for
Well,
that.
that's definitely not where I was going to go. But yeah, I am very close also to announce my new individual podcast that I'll be coming out with. I know, it's about damn time. But guess what? It's going to be fun, it's going to be interactive, and it's going to be fearful.
Well, that's going to wrap it up here. On behalf of Chris Parrish, this is Mike Maloney signing off from Wincombe Sports and the Money in the Bank preview on Over the Top Live here on Wincombe Sports.
Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 3,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 100 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.